Hello, my friend. It is so good to have you here today. Welcome back. Find a comfortable place to sit. Have you ever been told that something was not for you? That you were too small, too quiet, too late for the thing your heart wanted? Most of us hear a sentence like that at least once in our lives. Tonight, we walk through the life of a boy who heard those words. He was 11 years old. The doctor said his body had stopped growing. Without treatment, he might never grow taller than 1.40 meters. For a child with a footballer's dream, a door had just slammed shut. Yet, that boy went on to score more than 900 goals, more than Pelé, more than anyone in the history of the game. So come with me. Let us travel to a dusty street in Rosario, Argentina, and follow a small boy the world would soon call Little Maradona.
This is the story of Lionel Messi.
Lionel Andres Messi was born on the 24th of June, 1987, in Rosario, Argentina. His father worked in a steel factory. His mother cleaned houses. They were not rich, but their home was full of warmth and the sound of a ball bouncing against a wall. From the moment he could walk, Lionel chased a ball. His father once said the ball was tied to his son's feet by an invisible string. At 5, he joined a small club where his father coached. At 8, he moved to a bigger academy. He was always the smallest boy on the field. The others called him La Pulga, the flea. But when the ball touched his foot, the game became simple. The bigger boys could not catch him. His youth team once won 100 matches in a row. Coaches called them the Machine of 87. It turned out to be a prophecy, because the boy at the heart of that machine was about to become one. But first, his body had to betray him.
At 9, Lionel stopped growing. By 11, the truth could no longer hide. A doctor in Rosario gave the verdict: growth hormone deficiency. Treatable, but the medicine cost nearly $1,000 a month. Every night, an 11-year-old boy would have to push a needle into his own thigh. Can you imagine that? A child, alone in his room, holding a needle to his own leg night after night for years. Perhaps that is where the machine truly began. Not on a football field, but in a quiet bedroom, learning that a gift always costs something. His local club promised to help, then disappeared. River Plate, the biggest club in the country, looked at the cost and walked away. For 2 years, the boy injected himself in silence. Then, in the year 2000, a call came from across the ocean. From Spain, FC Barcelona wanted to see him. The trial in Barcelona lasted only minutes. The sporting director, Carlos Rexach, watched the small boy move with the ball and turned to his assistant. 2 words: sign him. But the board hesitated. Too small, too sick, too risky. Weeks passed. The Messi family waited in a hotel, ready to give up and go home. So, on the 14th of December 2000, Rexach met the boy's father for lunch. There was no contract on the table, so he asked a waiter for something to write on. What came back was a paper napkin. Rexach took out a pen and wrote a few short lines. The most important signing in football history was made on a paper napkin, the kind you use to wipe your mouth. Barcelona agreed to pay for the boy's treatment. The family moved across the ocean. The door that had closed in Rosario had quietly opened in Spain. On the 1st of May, 2005, at Camp Nou, 17-year-old Lionel came on as a substitute. A pass arrived from the Brazilian star Ronaldinho. Without breaking stride, Messi chipped it over the goalkeeper. Goal. Ronaldinho, the biggest star in world football, lifted the boy onto his shoulders and ran around the pitch with him. Neither of them knew. That was goal number 1 of more than 900 still to come. What followed over the next decade defies belief. Messi won trophy after trophy with Barcelona. In 2009, under coach Pep Guardiola, the club won all 6 trophies available to them in a single year, a feat no team had ever achieved, built around one small left foot. That year, Messi won his first Ballon d'Or, the award for the world's best player. He won it again in 2010, again in 2011, again in 2012, 4 in a row, a record no one had ever held. And in that same year, 2012, he scored 91 goals in a single calendar year. 91. The previous record? 85, set by German striker Gerd Müller in 1972, had stood for 40 years. Messi did not just break it. He shattered it. The boy once told he might not grow tall enough to play football was now unquestionably the best in the world. But even a machine has a breaking point. On the 26th of June, 2016, Argentina faced Chile in the final of the Copa América, Messi's 4th major final after 3 previous losses. The match went to penalties. Messi stepped up to take the first kick, something he had done 1,000 times and rarely missed. This time, the ball sailed over the crossbar, into the dark. Argentina lost. Messi sat down on the grass, and the cameras caught his shoulders shaking. He was crying. In the locker room, he told reporters, "For me, the national team is over." He retired from Argentina at 29, the greatest scorer in the game's history, undone by the one goal he wanted most. Argentina panicked. The president called and begged him to reconsider. Diego Maradona spoke out publicly. Newspapers ran a single word on their front pages: "Come back." 6 weeks later, Messi reversed his decision. Not because he believed he would win, but because he could not leave his country behind. Years of disappointment followed. Then, on the 25th of November, 2020, Diego Maradona died at 60. Argentina mourned for 3 days. Some said quietly that a weight had lifted. The team no longer had to live in Maradona's shadow. They could just be themselves. 8 months later, in July 2021, Argentina beat Brazil in the final of the Copa América. When the final whistle blew, Messi dropped to his knees and wept. After 15 years in the national shirt, he had finally won something for his country. Weeks later came one of the hardest days of his career. On the 8th of August 2021, Barcelona financially collapsed, unable to pay him even after he offered to take a pay cut, announced he would leave. At the press conference, Messi cried before he could even speak. 21 years at one club ended in tears, with a tissue handed to him by his wife. He moved to Paris, but Paris never felt like home. Then came the World Cup of 2022 in Qatar, supposed to be his last chance. Argentina lost their opening match to Saudi Arabia in a shock defeat, but rallied to reach the final against France. In one of the greatest finals ever played, the score reached 3-3 after extra time. Penalties. Messi took the first kick, and scored. Argentina won. At 35, Messi lifted the World Cup, exactly one generation after Maradona had lifted it in 1986. 3 months later, gunmen fired shots into a supermarket owned by his wife's family in Rosario, leaving a message. Messi, we are waiting for you. His own hometown, gripped by cartel violence, had sent him a threat. Still, the machine kept going. In 2023, Messi joined Inter Miami in the United States, a move many saw as a quiet retirement. Instead, he won the MLS Cup and back-to-back league MVP awards. Then, on the 18th of March, 2026, Messi scored his 900th career goal, joining Cristiano Ronaldo as only the second player in history to reach that number. He did not celebrate. He simply turned and walked back to the center circle. The most ordinary thing in the world for him. Now, in the summer of 2026, at 39 years old, Messi is playing his 6th World Cup, a record shared with only one other man. He has nothing left to prove. And yet, here he is. The machine built in the dust of Rosario does not know how to stop. Maybe he lifts one more trophy. Maybe he simply walks off the field one evening and never returns. That is the way of great stories. They do not end. They walk off into the distance and leave us standing on the grass, looking after them. We started tonight in a small clinic in Rosario with a boy whose feet did not touch the floor. We traveled through a paper napkin, through 91 goals in a year, through a ball that sailed over a crossbar, through tears at a press conference, and tears of joy on the grass in Qatar. Writers have called Messi a machine, but a machine cannot cry on the grass. A machine cannot kiss a trophy like a child. A machine cannot carry a country on its back for 15 years and keep walking. What Lionel Messi has is not a machine. It is a gift, older than any verdict. And maybe, my friend, you have a gift of your own. Something the world keeps telling you is too small, too late, too unlikely. Here is what this story reminds us. Sometimes the thing inside you was placed there before you were born, and no verdict on earth can take it back. All you have to do is one thing. Keep going, one step at a time, until the very last whistle. Thank you for walking through this story with me tonight. If it moved you, tell me in the comments what part stayed with you.